The residents of Chatsworth in KwaZulu-Natal are currently protesting over water problems. They blocked several roads, saying they've been without water for 3 months. They urged the Ethekwini municipality and the government to come to the area and witness their challenges. Some residents describe their living conditions as inhumane and claim that their appeals to councillors have gone unanswered. They say a house that was recently engulfed by fire could not be contained due to the lack of water. Residents also complained that water tankers arrive only in the afternoons when many are at work, making it hard to do basic household chores. Earlier, our reporter Natasha Piri posed a question to Water and Sanitation Minister Phemi Majodina on where to from here for communities that are without water.
The woes that have been raised around water, they don't reflect on the state of the ports. The ports are responsible for bulk supply. Unless you want to tell me now, Natasha, that you have another information that I don't have, that there is no bulk supply by water port A as expected. And I will not agree with you, because I know municipalities, the water ports are pumping water to municipalities. What I've been saying, and I will still say today and tomorrow, is that let's deal with reticulation, let's deal with the provision of water, and that is outside the water ports. Instead, what I'm going to do now is to appoint these water ports to go and assist municipalities, because they have the technical capacity. Where we are funding projects that are incomplete for the past 10 years, there's no way that we can give municipality that money any longer. What we are doing now, we're going to bring our water ports with the technical capacity. Last night, I was with Rand Water and City of Johannesburg to say this is the capacity that we can assist you with. So we are assisting the ports. The infrastructure, which is municipalities, and is a decaying infrastructure. But out of the reports that I have tabled here, the MIC funding is taken back to National Treasury. That is why we want to come in and assist them. It is not out of their making that they have this aging infrastructure, because they inherited it. So we are assisting them and say, how do you change? That is why we fund them with the regional infrastructure bulk, so that they can be able to deal with the infrastructure.
For some analysis on this, let's now welcome governance expert, Dr. Koma. Dr. Koma, very good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to SA Today.
Welcome. Thanks, Simpio, for the opportunity.
Now, yeah, indeed. Thanks indeed for joining us. Now, residents of Chatsworth say they've been without water for 3 months now, and that their pleas to councillors have often gone unanswered. So what does this say about the state of local governance and accountability in municipalities like Ethekwini?
Yes, simple. So what we have gathered so far is that, yes, we are celebrating 31 years of our democratic order as a country, but also part of celebrating this democratic order over the last 30 years or so, we should also consider reviewing the constitutional architecture, which is contained in the Constitution in respect of the authority, the powers and functions accorded to local government. It has now been proven that municipalities are incapable of providing this essential service, that is water. So it is high time that the national government consider amending the Constitution to provide a sustainable solution. And that sustainable solution will be the one that, of course, empowers the national government to take over the provision of water, because the national government has the luxury of capacity and also availability of, for example, infrastructure and the skilled engineers to be able to roll out this essential service, which is water. So I think these are some of the tough policy choices that will have to be considered by the government going forward, because government cannot continue to pour a lot of money on municipal infrastructure grant in respect to the provision of water, yet we have municipalities that are not able to spend these allocated funds, let alone ensuring that there is uninterrupted provision of these basic services, by extension, of course, electricity and other basic municipal services.
No, Dr. Koma, I was so mortified when I heard that in Chatsworth when a house burns down and cannot be saved because there's no water supply. I mean, what does that tell us about disaster preparedness and municipal risk management? Because the problem goes far beyond water or the lack thereof.
Yes, so you're right, Simpiwe. There's not been much focus, attention on investing on the maintenance of existing infrastructure. So there's been money earmarked and also focusing more on new infrastructure as opposed to also focusing largely on maintaining this existing infrastructure as part, of course, of extending the provision of basic services and also over time investing on the construction of new infrastructure. So that has been the setback on the part of many municipalities, that once they get these allocations from the National Treasury, the first thing they do is to consider constructing a new infrastructure while neglecting the servicing, the maintenance of this existing infrastructure that is able to assist the municipality to fulfill its obligations in terms of ensuring the provision of basic necessities and also the services to the residents.
I'm actually glad that you raised that point, because so many communities across the country, from Chatsworth to Jeppestown to Innerdale to Coronationville to Westbury, as we saw last week, the tensions escalating there, and all these communities are reporting water outages. So are we witnessing a systemic water governance failure across South Africa rather than the isolated municipal incidents?
Yes, you're right, Simpiwe. So if you look at the situation at Westbury, the residents, the facts that I've gathered so far is that the residents are calling for procedural fairness to say, yes, City of Joburg, you've got the right to disconnect the supply of this service to non-paying residents. But in this instance, we were not notified on time regarding this particular decision. And two, we were not provided with an opportunity to make valid objections to the decision taken by the City of Joburg regarding the implementation of the disconnection of the supply of water. So what needs to happen is meaningful engagement that allows for open dialogue and communication between the City of Joburg and the residents regarding how best to handle this situation of, on the one hand, is the non-paying of the service by the residents. On the other hand, is to look at the best way to ensure that the residents are still able to access this essential service, which has since, of course, disrupted their lives as ordinary residents.
All right, Dr. Sam Koma, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your insights with us.
Thank you.
Well, governance expert Dr. Sam Koma there, breaking down the deeper governance and accountability issues behind water outages affecting communities in Chatsworth, Jeppestown, even schools in Innerdale.